What's your top tip for an allied health professional who's just started working at Headspace for the first time?
Or get involved. I think, like I was saying earlier, it can be tempting to just be in your room seeing young person after young person and not having much interaction with other people. I think it's one of the most important and most helpful things is to get to know the teams that are there to support you.
Yeah, and I would say absolutely know the referral pathways that are around in your community for the young people you're working with, so that you're incredibly well resourced and knowledgeable in those areas.
Yeah, I was going to say really get to know the other people in your team, so spend time with them, ask them what they do, even ask can you go and spend a bit of time with them in some of their roles.
Looking back to when you first started at Headspace, what's one thing that you wish you'd known or maybe done differently in those first 6 months?
One of my clinical supervisors actually pulled me aside after I'd been at Headspace for a couple of years and said to me that young people are incredibly well resourced and very resilient, and they actually come to Headspace like that. They actually have a toolkit already. They're actually surviving and coping before they meet you. And I think that's really cool to have that in the back of your head, that a young person was surviving before they were in that room with you, and that you're not the answer to them. Headspace isn't the answer, but you're a part of their journey. And it actually alleviates a lot of your stress and worry as a clinician around getting it always right and being perfect in your work and ticking all the boxes, because you're actually placing emphasis on what the young person can already do and how they've been surviving in their world without you.
I think for me, when I came into this role, it was a new role that hadn't been established, so that was challenging in itself. Now looking back, I probably would have liked to have spent more time seeing how things are run at different centres that might already have youth severe funding, for example, to see how that could have shaped the role a bit more. We got there in the end, but it might have, having it, rather than diving straight into it, doing a little bit more planning in the beginning might have been more helpful.
I probably, if I'd had the opportunity, maybe spent more time with our community engagement team and just getting out there and going to a couple more events and like just really immersing myself into the Headspace environment and model. I did a little bit, but I think it's always great to do more. And also going to Headspace Learning.
I think we've had a really productive discussion today, just introducing viewers to their role when they come into Headspace. We've discussed a lot of different aspects to the role, but I think some of the key messages that we can take away today is that how different the centres are in terms of their setups, but how those centres may still face quite similar challenges, and how from that we can actually learn a lot from each other by engaging with fellow colleagues to discuss how they approach those challenges. Also just to take advantage of the benefits of the model, you know, working within that multidisciplinary environment can really improve the outcomes for the young person and inform your practice, but also kind of help improve your own professional development as well, which is a really, you know, good benefit from the Headspace model. And then also, you know, fundamentally just remembering that the young person is at the centre of your care. You know, we can talk about the benefits of getting family and friends involved, but ultimately those outcomes are for the young person themselves. So, you know, reflecting on maybe the happy models, or, you know, what sort of goals that they've been pursuing in their journey with you, and using that to inform your practice as a way of reaching those outcomes for the young person. If you'd like to learn more about your role as an allied health professional, we encourage you to complete the rest of the Introduction to Allied Health Professionals on Headspace Learning. And if you'd like to stay in touch with any of the colleagues from today, we encourage you to use the Find a Colleague function on Headspace Learning. Thank you so much for coming in and being a part of this discussion. I think that it will really help a lot of new Headspace staff learn more about their role at Headspace. So thank you, Dana, Rachel and Janet, for your time today. And I hope that you found the discussion to be helpful as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in, Dana, Rachel, and oh my God.
It was.
No, I just, for some reason I was feeling like Judy was going to come out. I was like, no. Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah.
From your thanks.
Yeah.